Today I will show you the build that can make the hardest mode in Baldurs Gate 3, which is Honor mode, into easier than Explorer. We will start from character creation, and then I will go act by act explaining what gear to get and what levels to level up basically. So, coolest part about this build, it doesn't rely on any race, so you can start as any race you like. For starting class, just go with Cleric. For cantrips, you can pick Guidance, Light, and basically again, any cantrip you like. Thaumaturgy will be nice. As you can see, there is no offensive cantrips, just support ones. Guidance will give us additional bonus in checks when we're in dialogues. Same for Thaumaturgy, it gives advantage in dialogues when we're doing intimidation or performance checks. And Light can light our weapons. And we're going with Light Domain Cleric, which will have ability to impose disadvantage on attackers that trying to attack us. That's pretty nice stuff to save your life. Deity doesn't matter, you can pick any you like, it won't affect our build at all, only some story stuff. Background, same, you can go with any background you like, just for role-playing purposes. For abilities, we're looking for Wisdom, Constitution and Dexterity. And we want to focus on Dexterity and Wisdom. Basically, Wisdom is our main spellcasting ability that will give us ability to do more damage with our spells. Therefore, we have an 17 in Wisdom with +2 bonus, of course. So it's 15 + 2. Dexterity will be at 16 points with +1 bonus. Because Dexterity will not only give us armor class, but also increase our initiative, therefore we will be acting first in a combat most of the time. Then we have Constitution, that will give us more health, pretty straightforward, and Strength, so we're not having any penalty on jumping. Just like that we are ready to go. You won't have any trouble getting out of the ship and already will be level 2. But the coolest part, by just walking and exploring the map, you can actually reach level 4, and you will spend most of time in Act 1 at level 4, of course. That's why let's look at the build at level 4 first. First of all, we're getting one more level in Cleric, and this will give us Radiance of Dawn, which is really cool class action that using Channel Divinity Charge to deal 2d10 radiant damage around us, and access to bunch of spells. But instead we want to change our class, and we are going to pick the Druid now. Druid comes with different cantrips, and honestly for this build it doesn't matter what cantrips you pick, so you can go with any you like, you can go with Shillelagh, you can go with Stormwhip, whatever you actually wish to use. For spells, again, it doesn't matter, I would go with just some exploration stuff like Enhanced Sleep, so you can jump further if you need to, Long Striders, so you can walk for more distance in the fight, that's useful spells, and outside of the battle they used as ritual spells, so they're not using any spell slots. And also you can go with whatever spells you actually like. Maybe you like to create in water, it doesn't matter. And the coolest part, build will start working from level 3 basically. So at level 3 you want to pick Circle of the Spore Druid, and actually Circle of the Land will give us a little bit more nice bonuses, but we want to go with Circle of Spores. Circle of Land will have this natural recovery that can basically give us more spell slots when we're out of combat every now and then. But Circle of Spores will be insanely powerful later on in the game, so let's just make final and most powerful build right now. Most importantly, we want to reach level 4 as Druid, and this will give us ability to use spells from level 2. To make build even a little bit more powerful than it is, you can go and when you arrive to Goblin Camp, talk with True Soul God and give you ability to mark you as Absolute. So, as you can see, we got a lot of spells here on the hotbar, and you're probably expecting me to explain how each of them works, how we will use them to be a really broken and insanely powerful character. And no, we're not doing this today. Instead, we're going to custom. And funnily enough, we need just few spells. So, from Cleric spell list, we need to take Sanctuary and just put it on your hotbar, that's it. From Druid spell list, we're going with Moonbeam. And again, that's it. So we don't need anything else. Of course, Long Strider and Hand Sleep is useful stuff, so we can cast it from the start of the day basically on ourselves and play this stuff as World of Warcraft. You know, just casting spells from our hotbar by using numbers. So what we want to do? Basically, Moonbeam is a pretty fun spell, and it's most of the time underrated. With high dexterity, we will most likely be first one who turning taking actions in the combat. And Moonbeam underrated because it's doing 2d10 damage for level 2 spell slot, which is not really the best damage possible. Also it's using concentration, and that's where it comes and becomes really overpowered. It's not doing just 2d10 damage, it's actually doing 2d10 damage when we first cast the spell, for example on this guy. That's the first instance, just 5 damage, but when he starts his turn, he will take additional damage from Moonbeam, so it's actually 4d10 damage. Now the best part. There's a spell called Sanctuary, and it's using only bonus actions. This means you can basically on the turn number 1 do Moonbeam and then Sanctuary. So let's just read the stuff. You or an ally cannot be targeted until you attack or harm a creature. You can still take damage from area spells, but until affected entity attacks or harms another creature, it cannot be targeted by enemy attacks. However, it can still take damage from spells that influence a larger area. So basically it's kinda long description that basically tells you can't be targeted at all. You just can't be targeted, and that's it. So now we can walk freely, do whatever we like actually, and end our turn. Now enemies can't target us, they will just walk and watch us, and every enemy who is affected by Moonbeam will take damage, of course. Most of the time, as you can see, enemies will just try to come close. Sometimes they will use area effect attacks to try and block and to basically destroy our concentration on the spell, but we don't care a lot. Most importantly, on turn number 2, we got this option to use action Move Moonbeam. This will move Moonbeam, and basically it will do more damage. It will inflict this damage that it normally would, but without consuming any spell slots. So that's how it works. On second turn, we're basically moving our Moonbeam, doing damage, and that's it. We end in the turn. They taking damage on the next turn, of course, and he is actually can't take more damage because he's dead, and enemies can't even attack us because we are under Sanctuary condition, so they can't inflict any damage to us while we basically standing and doing anything we want to them. Main and important rule is to never attack, so you just need to never attack, and that's it. Just use your Moonbeam, and that's it. That's basically it. So all your spending on the fight is level 2 spell slot for Moonbeam, level 1 spell slot for Sanctuary, and this will last for 10 turns. 10 turns, that's it. Basically that's what we are doing, and destroying enemies left and right. With our extra movement speed, it's really easy to move around the fight and move Moonbeam every now and then. This completely destroys our enemies. So you already see how broken it is. But as you can see, we can do even more damage with this Moonbeam. And this again will work on our turn and on enemy turn. That's crazy that we can add this thunder damage and still be under Sanctuary condition. How much thunder damage we can inflict, that depends, but as you can see, we can one-shot enemies right now. And it's basically 1d4 thunder damage with additional +1 if you wear Absolute Brand, of course. Be careful though, because if you walk into your own Moonbeam, it will definitely damage you and probably you will break concentration. But to make all of this possible and working, we need right items. So, the items that we are looking for in Act 1. To do additional this damage, like thunder damage, you need Faller Aloof. Faller Aloof is a really unique sword with Faller Aloof Melody skill, and this skill can be used as Sink or Shriek. You want to use Shriek because Shriek will deal additional thunder damage to enemies around you. So you will need to do it as action before the fight or on turn number 2, for example. Sacrifice one turn of moving Moonbeam, and that's it, basically, you will be fine. Really nice damage boost for our build, so definitely go and use this sword. Then we're looking for some like cool boots in Act 1. And honestly, there is a bunch of cool boots, but the best one will be Disintegrating Night Walter Curse. They will give you free Misty Step, and this Misty Step is basically teleport that using only bonus action. So by using this teleport, you can move into different areas and therefore move your Moonbeam for crazy distances. That's how it works. And for same reason we're going with Amulet of Misty Step. So again, it's one more completely free Misty Step. Both of them is recharging on short rest. So you get 2 Misty Steps every short rest. That's pretty nice. You won't need any more. And then Ring of the Absolute Force. This ring will give you additional thunder damage if you wear Absolute Brand. That's it. This build is completely broken, but when we go into Act 2 we will break it even more. You will be around level 8 when you enter into Act 2 and basically spend most of your time as level 8 character. And right now we're looking to have 4 levels in Druid. This will open new cantrips, spells. Again, we don't care about spells at all basically. What we care about is our stats. So, well, we can go into ability improvement and get wisdom to max it out already, because there's an item that will give you +1 wisdom at this point of the game. Actually, I recommend taking Alert Feat. So Alert will make you completely protected from being surprised, and you will have +5 bonus to initiative. Therefore, you will act first in a combat most of the time. But now at level 6, even before Act 2, we can start completely breaking this build. Basically what we want to do, we want to add Sorcerer. But there is one thing that you want to keep in mind. If you want, you can respec your character right now and get Sorcerer as your first and main class. This will give you proficiency in Constitution saving throws, but we don't need it actually. Or probably whatever. So again, considering you know our main spell combination, we don't need anything from the Sorcerer like cantrip list. You can completely ignore all of this stuff and get, I don't know, maybe Minor Illusion, Dancing Lights, Mage Hand, some exploration stuff that you probably won't ever need. Then about spells, same stuff over here, just Featherfall for exploration, Disguise Self for exploration. You don't need any damaging spells. What you need to pick the right subclass, and it will be Storm Sorcerer. So with this unique class feature, Tempestuous Magic, you can use Fly as bonus action without receiving opportunity attacks. You don't care about it too much. And now when you move your Moonbeam, you will be able to fly with bonus action, and this makes you completely broken fee, I don't know, like crazy mage character. And that's already at level 6. As I told you, we're going to go into level 8 category, so one more level in Sorcerer. Once again, we don't care about spells. You can go with Shield just in case, you know, if you mess up somehow or concentration will be broken. Maybe Shield is a nice stuff to have as a reaction. Meta Magic, that's where the fun begins. So at level 7 you will be level 2 Sorcerer with Extended Spell and Twinned Spell. And then at level 8 we're going to have our own Misty Step as bonus action with the spell slot consumption. We won't use it a lot, but still nice to have. You can like change your spells and get enhanced ability in case all other party members don't have the stuff to buff yourself in dialogues or other like ability checks. And Metamagic Quickened Spell is pretty nice stuff to have. It uses a lot of sorcery points, but still pretty nice and powerful stuff. And before I will show how broken the build is right now, let's talk about items that we can use in Act 2. So first of all, what is actually a stats that we care about? Most of all, it's just spell save DC and initiative rolls. And you can get this Fist Breaker helmet that gives exactly that. +1 to spell save DC and +1 to initiative rolls. Another one that you will get by the end of Act 2 with a little bit higher level is Ketrick Shield, just +1 to spell save DC and spell attack rolls. Not really like insanely important item, but pretty fine. We always want to be under Long Strider condition, of course, and if you know the fight is nearby, you can go and cast Enhanced Sleep and Feather Fall, of course. Honestly, you don't even need this feather fall and other stuff a lot, because after each spell you can just go and fly with bonus action. So, even with alert feat, we can be not the first one to act. That's why having shield or warding flare is a nice stuff. Warding flare is like cleric fuchsia, so we impose disadvantage on attack rolls and we will force enemies to attack 2 times, but still he needs 9 to hit. It's really easy. That's why shield sometimes come pretty handy. It will add +5 to armor class and we definitely will evade a lot of attacks. Now we can use our Moonbeam finally, but we will upcast it to level 4. It will do 4d10 damage right now. It means it can do up to 80 damage in one single turn, and if enemies standing close, it will do damage to both enemies at once. That's like pretty crazy stuff. After this we can basically just cast Sanctuary and that's it. But the coolest part, we can use extended spell Metamagic and it will use only 1 sorcery point, and now we can cast Moonbeam and it will last for 20 turns. 20 instead of 10. 20 turns is just completely broken stuff, because we can do it, do the Sanctuary on the same turn again. So Metamagic extended spell, Sanctuary, casting on ourselves. And that's basically it. We are invulnerable for 20 turns. 20 turns of invulnerability. That's just crazy stuff. They're trying to attack each other for some reason. I don't know how it will help, but they're doing some weird stuff, definitely. Oh my god, 31 damage. And they basically can't do anything to us. They just can't do anything. We're just moving the Moonbeam. And basically that's it. That's the strategy, and that's how we're doing our stuff. We can move Moonbeam, we can like travel to enemies by using our bonus action Flight. Oh my. And it's useful if you know the enemy behavior. Will they try to go nearby of you, or they will just ignore and run away? So if they're running away, definitely don't fly to them. And don't forget, we can even improve this damage by using Faller Aloof Shriek, of course. You can't extend it, but still, you know, doing this much of damage is pretty much insane. We're basically like destroying enemies with insane amount of damage, and we are invulnerable. Like there's nothing they can do against it. And funniest part, since we're not item dependent at all, we basically can do this build for whole party and just destroy enemies with this strategy by using this build for whole party. As you can see, sadly eliminating. So the only problem you will face in Act 2 probably that you will out of sorcery points a lot by doing the strategy. It's really easy to fix. As sorcerer you get 2 cool actions. And it basically creates spell slot from sorcery points and creates sorcery points from spell slot. In Moonrise Towers, watch for Lantarf Trader and just buy potions of Angelic Reprieve from him every time possible. You can rest at the shop by doing long rests or by pressing level up button and upgrading yourself to 1 level above. So you can buy hirelings and do it as much as you wish. Now you will just create sorcery points from level 1 and level 2 spell slots. In total that's around like 12 sorcery points. And then just use potion for Angelic Reprieve. It will put you in short rest and replenish all spell slots after short rest. So that's completely broken stuff, and basically you will have unlimited sorcery points and spell slots by doing so. So, invincible character with unlimited spell slots, what can be better? Oh, a lot of stuff. So, let's first of all talk about our levels in Act 3. We're going to take more levels in Sorcerer to get more sorcery points, because we basically don't need anything from Druid or Cleric. So, pick any cantrips, any spells you like, it won't matter at all. I'm already tired to tell it, but again, it won't matter. So, like, do whatever you wish, go for exploration stuff, like knock, for example. We can pick additional feat at level 9, and this feat can be ability improvement wisdom, because we already got alert. But we want to go with dual wielder feat, that's what we want. Then we're basically leveling sorcerer, again picking whatever you like, daylight maybe we'll use it. Like level 11, we're going with any non-concentration spells. So you just don't need to have concentration spells. And one of the spells really useful at level 11 is Contra Spell. It will make you stop enemy spell casting and having ability to do so is just completely broken, because until level 11 there's slight possibility that someone will throw a fireball and you will take area damage, because Sanctuary not blocking area damage. Now you just block fireballs and you are completely invincible. You basically cannot be killed. And you know, level 12, just do whatever you like. It doesn't matter, you can pick like any spell. You won't use them, you just won't use any spells. And to completely break the character, we need to write items in Act 3. So, the first one will be Cloak of Viv. It is not like most important item, but still, you will gain +1 bonus to spell save DC. That's what we like. And how it works basically, how works spell save DC on our character right now. So you like understand why we need it. Basically, when you're doing Moonbeam, enemy will take Constitution saving throw, and this saving throw will be against your Wisdom spellcasting spell save DC. So right now it's 16, at least over here. But if we take away this stuff, it will be just 15. That's why spell save DC is important stuff, and that's why a Rhapsody is really nice dagger. Basically, you want to have it in your offhand, and every time you kill an enemy, you will gain +1 bonus to spell save DC. So that's what we're looking for. We were looking for killing like 3 guys, and then we will get this +3 save DC. So this will make enemies lose spell save DC a lot of time, and this will make them take full damage instead of half damage. Still, we are like broken, but we will kill enemies faster. And last but not least, Armor of Spore Keeper. So this armor is insanely powerful, and there's one single reason why we picked Spore Druid. If you imbue it with symbiotic entity, you can spread different spores. So let's just pick the stuff on us, and also it looks pretty cool. And now, just at the start of the day, don't forget to cast symbiotic entity on yourself. We got symbiotic entity, we got long strider, and basically we are ready to go and fight. So what is this cool and different spores we have here? That's actually pretty fun stuff. So right now we will upcast Moonbeam up to level 6, of course, if possible, or just to level 5 most of the time, since we got basically unlimited spell slots if we use this sorcery point mechanic and get more level 5 spell slots. And never forget to do extended spell, so we get 6d10 damage for 20 turns in a row, but in reality it's not 6d10, again, it's double 6d10, so it's 12d10 for 20 turns. 2.4k damage maximum to single target, 2.4 damage, 2.4k, that's just like completely broken. While we having highest initiative basically. But what we can do now, that's even more crazier. So now, sadly just for few turns, but we can drop Haste Spores. It will use bonus action, so only use it on second turn. And it can be used only until long rest, but basically you can use it before every strong boss. Just make an area and make sure enemies can't stand in this area. That's why it's really nice to like put it somewhere like over here, for example. Do your like spore dance. Always extended sanctuary, and basically you can fly over here from the next turn every turn and get effect of the spores. This will give you additional action. You can easily kill target every turn basically. Just look for some like hostile mage, and she got just 45 HP at level 10. So we can move Moonbeam basically on the next turn, do 32 damage, and since we got 2 actions we can do it 2 times in one single turn, kill her. Anyway, for a few turns we will be able to do 2 turns and 2 moves of Moonbeam basically. So he's dashing where he wants to go, I'm not sure, but he just took some damage from Moonbeam. They acting like crazy guys because they just can't do any damage to us. That's like completely fun and most broken stuff in my opinion. Because enemies can only jump and basically that's it, they can't do anything else. Oh my, they all together. Sadly, Radius is not that broken, but as you can see, the spores will act and give us additional action only for one single turn. That's why we're doing this basically, like Moonbeam over here, trying to like attack 3 guys, and that's the damage. And then using bonus action to go into this area basically and get our second action. After getting second action, just move Moonbeam once again and that's it. That's how you basically destroy Act 3. I hope you enjoyed this video and you will have blast playing this build in Baldur's Gate 3. Watch other cool videos on the screen right now and see you in the next videos.